The Battle of Dongkou was a naval battle fought between late 222 and early 223 between forces of the state of Cao Wei and the Kingdom of Wu during the Three Kingdoms period of Chinese history. The battle concluded in a Wu Pyrrhic victory. Background: after the Shu Emperor Liu Bei was defeated by Sun Quan's forces at the Battle of Shouting, Sun benefited from his submission to the Wei ruler Cao Pai, who would help Sun in the conflict against Liu Bei. However, on both sides of the two forces, this was never a popular concept, especially in the ranks of Sun Quan, who defeated Cao Cao at the Battle of Red Cliffs 14 years ago after resisting surrender. To make matters worse, Cao Pai and his officers were uneasy about Sun's titles and ranks because it was quite inappropriate since they were considered a vassal state under Wei. It was even considered within Sun Quan's forces that the alliance with Wei was futile, because the defeat they caused Liu Bei at Shouting was so critical that it meant that their alliance with Wei was no longer an asset for survival. Sun Quan also appeared as if he was planning to have this alliance go not much longer than it was supposed to. In a matter of time, Cao Pai's plan to keep Sun Quan and Shu's relations sour backfired as Sun Quan and Liu Bei rekindled their alliance. In an attempt to improve his own relations with the Sun clan, he demanded Sun Deng to be sent to the Wei capital Luoyang as a hostage. However, Sun Quan declined this request, and later apologized to Cao Pai, stating his son was still very young and vulnerable in his health to be away from his home and family. Cao Pai did not bring up or press the matter. However, Cao Pai demanded Sun Deng as hostage soon again. This was also declined. Diplomatic ties between the two continued to sour until finally, Cao Pai would attack Sun Quan. Sun Quan would repetitively send envoys to negotiate peace between the two, but resulted in failure. Soon after, Sun Quan would proceed into declaring independence in November 222. The battle first moves in autumn. Cao Pai ordered Cao Xiu, Zhang Liao and Zhang Ba to attack Dongkou, Cao Ren to attack Ruxu, and Cao Zhen, Xiaoshang, Zhang He and Zhu Huang to besiege Nankomandri. In response, Sun Quan put Liu Fan in command of 5 armies to resist Cao Xiu. Zhuge Jin, Pan Zhang and Yang Kan were dispatched to relieve the siege on Nankomandri, which was being defended by Zhu Ran, while Zhu Wan defended the fortress of Ruxu from Cao Ren. Wei offensive. The Wei forces were initially easily penetrating the Wu front lines, no doubt because of their strength. In addition, Liu Fan's forces were hit by a storm, causing serious damage, though Cao Xiu, because of the storms, achieved little out of his initial efforts. He was hot-headed, and he had to be advised strongly by his troops. Dong Zhao also assured to Cao Pai that Cao Xiu's troops would do this. Sun Quan was afraid when he heard that Zhang Liao was participating in the campaign, and said to his subordinates, "Zhang Liao may be ill, but he is still a foe to be reckoned with. Be careful." Zhang Liao and the Wei generals later defeated Liu Fan. When Cao Xiu, Zhang Liao and Zhang Ba launched their attack, Liu Fan, along with Zhu Sheng, Quan Kong and Sun Shao, led naval forces to resist the enemy at Dongkou. By this time it was early 223, and Cao Xiu ordered Zhang Ba to attack Sun's small stronghold at Zuling, though Zhang Ba achieved nothing and was quickly defeated. However, Cao Xiu eventually managed to gain the advantage as Liu Fan's forces were beginning to struggle. Turn of events and Wei retreat. Miraculously, reinforcements arrived and Liu Fan's generals Sun Shao and Zhu Sheng managed to put out a resistance against the Wei forces, continuously gaining morale due to the Wei struggle at Nankomandri and other locations along the western area of the Yangtze. Eventually, Cao Xiu and the Wei forces at Dongkou were ultimately repelled and withdrew to the Wei capital Luoyang. Aftermath. Following the Wei defeat at Dongkou and failed invasion of the western Yangtze region, Sun Quan took his chance to launch an offensive during the summer of 223, successfully destroying the new Wei commandery at Qichun. The success of Sun Quan during his resistance against the Wei invasions would soon inspire Sun Quan to declaring himself Emperor of Eastern Wu, being the last to establish the three dynasties during the Three Kingdoms period. Sun Lang also was banished from the Sun clan, and had to change his name to Ding Lang, and was expelled from the army. Order of battle. In fiction. In the historical novel Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the Wei general Zhang Liao was killed in this battle while defending Cao Pai from an attack by the Wu general Ding Feng. He was hit in the waist by an arrow fired by Ding Feng and died from his wound not long after the battle. Cao Pai held a grand funeral for Zhang Liao. Historicity. Zhang Liao's biography in the Sangguoji stated that he died of illness. In 222, he participated in the Battle of Dongkou against Wu forces even though he was ill. When Sun Quan heard that Zhang Liao was involved in the battle, he warned his men to be careful. Zhang Liao and other Wei generals defeated the Wu general Lu Fan in that battle. However, Zhang Liao's condition worsened and he died later that year in Jiangdu. In modern references, the battle is a playable stage in the 7th installment of Ke's Dynasty Warriors video game franchise. The stage is the final stage of the Wu story mode, and the player uses Sun Quan, and Sun Quan kills Zhang Liao. In the stage, though Cao Pai surrenders, later the game reveals in a following Wu cinematic clip that Sun Quan was dreaming.